Hello, parents, guardians, family members of students of 3 Honors. My name is Mary Wittelsberger, and I'll be teaching, I have 4 different sections of 3 Honors this year, and I'm very excited. I'm new to Bethesda Chevy Chase and just am blown away by the systems that they have here, the curriculum, everything that they have for these children to learn and have it be the best environment possible. First and foremost, I am so sorry I can't be there tonight. I'm actually off setting up for my wedding that's taking place on Saturday, so it's been a little bit of a busy start this year. But I wanted to make this video so that you all could, see me, get to know me, see my face, and kind of get a good idea of what this year is going to be like. First of all, in order to contact me, anything, I have my syllabus in our Google Classroom. So I'm going to go through the codes for those Google Classrooms for each period. So if you are a parent, a guardian, or a family member of period 2, this is your code. The code is H5V68ED. Okay, so that's period 2. Okay, period 4 is Q5F8Z9. Okay. And then we have 3 Honors, period 6, R88VFG. Okay, and I'll leave that for a second. Okay, and 3 Honors, period 7 is 71VGHT. Okay, so let's jump into the syllabus. And the syllabus, again, is posted in that Google Classroom with that code. Actually, right before I start with the syllabus, I'd like to explain a little bit about myself and how I got here. So I went to undergrad at Georgetown University where I studied Spanish and modern Greek. And then after that, I worked, as it is when you graduate, wherever you can go. I worked at Under Armour corporate headquarters in Baltimore. And it quickly found that I was not using, the skills or the passions that I had garnered, in school and studying and all of that. So I actually applied to the Peace Corps. And a year and a half later, I went to El Salvador, and I lived in El Salvador for 2 years. And there I got to know wonderful people. I have a bias, I think, as you can see, the flags and everything in my classroom. People from El Salvador are the kindest people in the world, and it was a wonderful experience. It was trying, but the thing that was so great about it was that I was in that immersion, and it really solidified my skills and became at least, for the most part, fluent. I hate to say fluent because that would mean you're a fully native speaker, and clearly, I'm a gringa. So that experience was great. I came back. I taught for 3 years at a school in Baltimore, and then I came here. And so now jumping into that syllabus, obviously Spanish 3 Honors is for students who have successfully completed Spanish 1 and 2. And it offers a more challenging approach to, the 4 skills of listening, reading, writing, and speaking. It'll offer more contextual and additional opportunities for students to expand those skills. Students will satisfy communication and social interaction demands and initiate and maintain face-to-face communication. So there will be a lot of Spanish. They will identify main ideas and significant details in discussions, presentations, written texts, and situations within a cultural context. They'll read and interpret authentic materials, to narrate and describe in sentences, groups of related sentences, and short cohesive passages in present, past, and future time, and compose messages, announcements, personal notes, and advertisements. They'll refine their knowledge and understanding of the target language and cultures. as well as their own by examining the interrelationship of other cultures to their own, by demonstrating behaviors appropriate in the target cultures, and by applying their knowledge and skills inside and outside of the classroom setting. We have several objectives. We need to emphasize the use of active communication, comprehend formal and informal spoken Spanish, acquire vocabulary and grasp new structures, aka grammatical structures, compose short essays to express ideas, and to express ideas orally, improving the command of the language. In order to meet these goals and these objectives, attendance is extremely important. The kids so far have been wonderful. I'm really enjoying classes with them. Their attendance is fantastic. They're keeping up. I'm checking in with them all the time. But that attendance is absolutely super important in order for them to get better and to mejorar, to get better at the language. So they will need, different materials to keep them organized, whether that be a binder or folders. We'll have lots of handouts, lots of things that they'll be taking notes on, so we need to make sure that that stuff is organized. They'll need earbuds for listening activities. However, often I do have to remind them that those earbuds should be taken out when we are doing activities or talking in the classroom and not doing a listening activity. Daily participation. They're expected to be active learners and to engage. And part of that, obviously, is my job. I am here to not only facilitate learning, but to make sure that they're engaged. I think that part of it is kind of creating an entertaining class and making them feel like an integral part of that class. They're expected to use Spanish. I think these early days, they're a little timid or they're not confident in their ability. We will get them there so that they're using Spanish. I am using Spanish mostly throughout the entire class. There's supposed to be kind of a 90-10 difference there, where 90% of the time you're using Spanish and then 10% will be for questions and confirming, clarifying different things. Students' oral communication will be graded twice per marking period just to make sure that they are improving and seeing where they are. Homework policy. Homework, when assigned, is due the following school day. It will be posted in Google Classroom, on the board. I'll talk to them in class and tell them. And then if they are absent, it's their responsibility to make sure that they are getting that makeup work if needed, finding out what's going on in class, etc. Assignments must be completed to get credit. Any missed homework will receive a grade of 0. So that is the thing of when the students do part of the test or part of the assignment, and that is where they get the 50%. But if there is no work done, that's a 0. Late homework will not be accepted after that homework has been checked in class. So that's extremely important that the students do that. The homework will be checked for completion, and then at times it will be checked for accuracy. Each day's lesson, hopefully, and vocabulary should be studied and reviewed. Ideally that is what you would want, but we all know that there are certain days that might not happen. There will be tests and quizzes that are announced. Anything that's covered in class may be on the test. There will be unit tests periodically throughout the semester. And obviously those 4 language learning skills will be tested periodically. And then in this syllabus I have, and for sake of time, I know I'm running out of time, we have the units that we will be covering. But one thing I do want to say before everybody takes off is that I have a bad day policy, where if the student is overwhelmed or they have a lot going on, because I know that there's pressure coming from all ends, especially from the future, resumes for colleges, etc. If a student is having a very hard time, they can come up to me in person or they can email me. If they have too many tests in one day, email me before that day, letting me know that, and I'm happy to give extensions or, on assignments or move that test for them. But that kind of thing needs to be the responsibility of the student, and I need to know about it before that day. Now, if they show up and they're having a terrible day because they're just overwhelmed, they can also talk with me, and I'll kind of back off, because I think that it's super important for the student to feel like their life matters and that their story matters and that their days matter, and day in and day out, things can change and situations can happen, different circumstances for each kid. I want them to feel seen, right? So I am here to understand what they're going through, because I've been there too. So that's just the last thing I want to say, is that I'm here to try to understand and create this environment where they're comfortable and they feel like a part of everything. So anyways, I am so excited to teach your students this year, and I'm just really looking forward to it. And I've already had such a great experience so far at BCC. Planned the wedding prior to moving here and looking for this job, so my apologies that it falls in the middle of the beginning of everything. But anyways, I've kept you all too long already, but thank you so much, and please email me if you have any questions. Take care.